more than the steel men. My name's Chuck.
And my name is Michael in the Forest shirt. Go and get yourself one.
Red.
Anyways, next thing, right? Now, I asked you a question.
Was that a segment?
Yeah.
That was rubbish. Let's try this again. Michael, what else are you going to talk about tonight on this football podcast? In the non-league paper, what I do the writing for when we're at home, I give man of the match to their keeper. In this episode tonight, coming up, it's more chat about football. Hello and welcome, and indeed all that stuff. It's not the first of the new year, is it?
No.
We've done this already. We're professional, you know.
Hello, welcome.
Yes, I'm Chuck. This is Michael.
I am.
This is Corby Town TV on the YouTube channel. Please, if you're enjoying this and watching it, why not subscribe? Hit the like button and hit the notification button, because that's all you have to do. This is free. And we are fans of Corby Town, though somehow somebody has sneaked onto the show tonight in a kit. Now, there's lots of things I don't like about red. Let's think what they are. Man United, Arsenal, Liverpool, Kettering, King, what do they call that other team? Kidderminster. And Forest. And you're wearing...
I'm absolutely not listening to him. Recently, I had a trip with my Christmas money to the City Ground, and I went to watch them play Blackpool. And Gibbs White's goal was well worth the admission fee on its own. And they had a bonanza. Instead of these shirts costing 70 or 80 pounds, as they are in most places, they were 37 quid. So I thought, I haven't had one in a long time.
That's £2 dearer than a Corby Town shirt in the shop.
And not only that, it's got a Premier League badge on it. The way things are going, we won't be there next year. So,
I hadn't finished my list. Anstino, mates! They wear red, don't they? Who else?
They do.
Wolsey or Woody in their frozen pitch. They wear red.
Weaselwood. Yep.
And who else? Who else don't we get on? I don't know. Diamonds just wear a red kit. Well, I say the Earthenborough Diamonds. Earthenborough Diamonds, not Russian Diamonds. Earthenborough Diamonds.
Do you think their kit was very, very similar now? You're of the same era as me. One of their earlier kits was very, very similar to the England World Cup jersey of 1982.
The 82 one with the white time bit of red and black.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But, I mean, they took those kits, didn't they? The Russian and Diamond, Hyman, Northampton Town, badge, United. Anyway, what's happening with Corby Town, first of all? Because we do get some kind of conversations and questions coming in. So, Corby Town, a run of 5 unbeaten games.
Since the last time we were here.
Indeed.
They've had 2 draws and a win.
Yeah, it was a draw away
Coleshill.
To Coleshill. That was a very cold afternoon. Awful game. They had one player sent off, Coleshill, and Corby couldn't do anything about it. Then they came here and we played another 1-1 draw, 55 minutes against 9 men. Now, I think generally everybody said it. An appalling game, an appalling second half. Team didn't turn up. Gary said that. I've said that. And in the non-league paper, what I do the writing for when we're at home, I give man of the match to their keeper, who was their number 9 or their number 10 that went in goal. But then they turned it round, didn't they? Corby Town. Because they went away on Tuesday night to Walsallwood.
Now, there lies the story, right? Because it went on and on and on about whether the game was going to be on. I actually found out, I don't know what time it was, but it was quite late. And it said on the message on their site was, if it stays as it is, the game will be on.
What a ridiculous statement to make, right? Because it's only going to get colder through the evening. And at 4 o'clock, there was going to be a pitch inspection at 3:30, and it would have been 2 degrees by then. And it only had to drop a couple more. But apparently what they said, it was a bit springy understep. What's that mean? Better good.
I took some images of
we saw them, yeah.
Round the outside, and when Gary was near the dugout, it was hardening up there. But when I moved to the other side of the pitch to film it, it was not too bad on that side.
So
the lino said it was okay.
But obviously this is a concern of worry about the safety of players playing on pitches which are frozen, because if you go in and you slide on these pitches, it'll just rip your skin to shrivens. Shrivens. I don't know what shrivens are, but it's a kind of cross between ribbons and shreds. Shrivens.
The sad thing about it was some of our players had travelled 2 hours.
Yeah.
And they could have got there and that game could have been called off quite easily.
Yeah.
But anyways, brilliant performance.
We won, took 3 points.
Everything you want from a home game you had in that game. And, of course, Jack Keeble, hat-trick.
There you go, a defender coming good up front. And they hadn't been beaten at home since August.
No, not many teams will go there and put 4 past them.
So that's a good performance, and we'll take the 3 points. And as it stands, we go into the Saturday's game, as we look at it here, in the past, away at Quorn. I'm a bit concerned what's going to happen at Quorn. Is there another strong team? Not been there. Don't know what the pitch is like.
You never been?
No.
It is a tidy ground. It is a tidy little ground. It's got everything that you could want to have on a small scale. It's tidy, it's smart, it's neat. They've got a stand that runs the whole length. It's very narrow, and the roof comes down. You're looking through a letterbox, but you're sheltered. They've got a shelter behind the goal. The bar's nice. There's a lot to like about the ground.
And a great big sign that says, "We kill foxes."
We're not going there. It says Corn. That's all it says, Corn.
Town. Corn Town.
AFC.
Is it?
I think it's AFC Corn. Is it Corn AFC? Something like that.
Oh, well. But it's in Leicestershire. It is in Leicestershire.
Excuse me, sorry.
Leicestershire.
Leicester.
That'll be it. So, right then. So
like toaster.
Strangely enough, I mean, you like this. I like a dig into history. I was at the house known as Chester House the other day. It's just outside Chester. Now, there's a link here, because there's a link between Chester and Toaster and all the other Chesters around here, because there's a big Roman settlement found at Chester House. And I was holding a bone that was found in Northamptonshire of a woolly mammoth, and it was 6,000 years old. Not a woolly mammoth, a woolly rhinoceros. It was a humerus. It was on front peg of a woolly one. It was huge, and it was quite heavy too. So yeah, a little bit of history. There's loads of history in this town, in this county. So we should. I've always been a little bit kind of not wanting to go to other towns in Northamptonshire, your likes of your Broads, and I've been to Raunds, not much there. I've been to Higham Ferrers. It's quite nice. It's all right. Yeah, get a coffee in there. But yeah, there's other places around, and they're interesting. But I've been to Brackley too, to the towns. Not much there. It's a bit of a one-horse town, but decent antique centre for all the people that like a bit of antiques for their football. Anyway, go on. What other news is happening at Steel Park?
Oh, okay, yeah. We'll get into some news, I think, about what's been going on. This is concerning the ladies, really. I had a chat with Phil Toon to try and get some information. Phil Toon's taking temporary charge of the ladies until the end of the season. And then, obviously, the search, I guess, will continue for permanent managers.
He's currently in the position of kind of chairperson, isn't he? That's what he had. That's
Secretary, chair, manager.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be one of them. So he took over since just before Christmas, and he'll run to the end of the current season. And they beat Desborough 1-0, who were top of the league. And followed by a 2-0 win against Barton. Corby were without 5 first-team players in that second match.
Wow. Wells Barton, there's another place. I've never been to Wells Barton.
Yeah.
And it's not far from all the lakes and all the Grendons and all those places around there. But yeah, it's a place to go to. I'm thinking of something to do on a Sunday afternoon. Go on, Em. What else you got? Loads of other stuff and news about Corby?
Well, there's a good...
Stannick Lakes. There's a place. You can go and spend hours walking around Stannick Lakes. Not in this weather. It's a bit nippy. Go on, Em.
One of the other things that Phil wanted to do, and he's trying to implement, we have recently taken on one of our under-16s girls, and as we try to bridge the gap for the under-16s to the adult football, and we are growing as a ladies' team, to hopefully have 2 teams next season. That's what they're hoping, and I think that must be a first team in the reserves, perhaps, for the ladies.
Right, okay.
That would be my take on it. But what he told me was that it's hopefully to have 2 ladies teams next year.
Right. Is this because he's got the under-16s currently at the moment are going to grow in age and therefore will be ultimately playing ladies football?
There is no 18s, is there? There are girls.
Oh, right.
It's 16s. And I don't think there is an 18. So where do they go? As the top of the statement says, they're trying to bridge the gap between the 16s and the adult football, which would suggest that perhaps there is
a bit of an age gap.
Yeah.
But you've got a milestone there as well.
Yeah, we have a real milestone which would have happened by the time this podcast comes out, and it's Kira Lauder will play her 100th cap for the ladies' team.
Good playing, good football.
This Sunday against Daventry, the game would have been played, so she would have played 100 caps.
If she was picked.
Well, yeah. I would imagine.
So a manager's position remains open.
Yeah.
And a reserve manager for next season.
Yep.
So, so if anybody's interested and they think they'd like to take part and help manage the ladies team for Corby Town, contact the club. I think the email address will be the same as at info@corbytown. corbytownfc.co.uk. Michael will find that out, sort that out, and he'll put it on the screen about here.
Yeah. I have an advert that is for the ladies manager.
It's got a different email address completely.
Yeah, which was the original advert that went up. So I'll check with Phil, and if this will go on this podcast as well with the information. And there's a couple of slides here with the scores and women of the match, so we can just have a little look here.
So let's have a look at the VT. Look at this. That's the of Els Barton.
Yeah.
Nice badge, Els Barton.
Lovely, isn't it?
It's got a castle-like structure and what looks like a tree, but it's the E and B letters. That's quite good. We've just got to give a shout-out, of course, to Milex and to the Royal Town Dorian KB, who sponsor the ladies. Why not, indeed? They should be on this board.
No.
Milex probably are, aren't they?
And Leanne Loudon, who was woman of the match.
Leanne Loudon.
Yeah, Loudon.
That's Lowdn.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, The other one is Louder, isn't it? So.
Yeah, which is Lou. So
yeah.
Shout out to the ladies if they're watching this. Please share it and let people know.
And this slide will be the result of the Desborough game, and women of the match were Georgia Summerfield and Nicola Tinto.
That's Nicole.
Sorry.
Nicole Tinto.
Well, see, I've got that wrong.
Yeah. But I take it one of them is an outfield player and the other one may be a goalkeeper, or is that just a stock image they've put there?
I don't know.
We'll have to look.
I don't know. But you may well be right. Because you would think there would be a picture of the person that's got the...
So if you want to come up, the games are... Have you got next fixtures? Have you got fixtures?
The next fixture would have been played.
Right. So
it's
check social media for contacts, but follow Corby Town Ladies. That's probably the best way of doing it, because they generally put out all the fixtures once a week for all the teams, all the ladies teams.
FA full-time leagues, and just put in Corby's Ladies, you'll get every team you want there. 18s, first team, ladies team, whatever. FA leagues it is, and you just put the team you want and it will list it up, all the fixtures, everything. And again, I'll put a link to that in this video as well.
Excellent. So that's ladies.
Yeah. Chuck's going to talk a little bit while I find this one up.
Oh, so, Earl's Barton, that's maybe somewhere to go. Apparently, in Ringsted, there's a really nice coffee shop, as there is in Higham Ferrers. That's Higham Ferrers, and I don't know. There's another one, Higham Ferrers, but they've got Higham Town Football Club. That's a weird thing, isn't it? So why are they called Higham Ferrers Town? Probably. Like Market Harbour called themselves Market Harbour Town FC. So what's this then? Youth team, under 18s.
The youth team have had...
Going well.
I've had... there's something coming up in a minute. I've had 2 fixtures. I wasn't at any of them because of illness. I wasn't very well, so I didn't go. And not only that, I had enough to do as well, you know.
Boy's busy, isn't he?
The first one was away at Daventry, and it was in the League Cup, and it was a bitterly cold evening, and I'm not going to go into too much depth apart from they did well to get the game on. I think it was another touch and go like Walsall Wood, really.
Like
Yeah.
So it says there, a bobbly pitch.
Yeah. Well, Daventry isn't it? Elder Stubbs, you know. It can be... very difficult, and in weather like that, it was all Corby making all of the chance after chance through fine defending and goalkeeping and poor finishing. The scores remained level. Corby thought they'd opened the scoring when Harvey shot seemed to cross the line, but wasn't given in the 30th minute.
VAR for this low league football.
With Daventry's first shot at goal, it scored. Or they scored, sorry. Yeah. And it was a well-taken volley. It doesn't give a name of the goal scorer. So,
So 1-0 to Dav.
Yeah, 1-0 to Dav.
So that's the first defeat of the season then?
No. I'm not going to go, like I say, into... It was a League Cup game.
Oh, right, okay.
The final score was 3-2. Right?
Oh, right.
That was Corby 1-3-2.
Oh, right. So they're still unbeaten this season?
After that game, they were. Yeah.
See, there's things I just don't know.
Yeah. And I will put some slides up about that game and maybe a bit more of a report. But if you go to the under-18 section on our website, and we can put a link to that, and if you pick the match that had just played with the score, you'll see match report, and Phil Toon puts them up there.
Right.
I would imagine they're written and Phil puts them up there, and they're there after every single game. This match report is then the last game they played was in the County Cup, and that was away at AFC Ruston and Diamonds.
Very good.
Now, I'm not going to read the match report because I spoke to Shay the other night because the 3 young lads were all in the first team on the bench and they all got on the field of play. But
good.
Prior to that, Shay and Martin Martindale.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry, I get mixed up.
His dad won the half-time
draw. Yes.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and
so Ryan Mindell.
Yeah, Hutch's boy, Kyle.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So the 3 of them got on the field. Prior to the game, I was having a chat with them. The under-18s went to Ruston and Diamonds in the County Cup and lost 8-0. Yeah. It was a bit of a because I knew the result and I couldn't work out, and I thought something must have happened. What did happen is Diamonds scored early, but after 20 minutes, Stanley Roberts did his knee.
Right.
Corby didn't have
a spare keeper.
No, they didn't have a spare keeper.
Just to say, Stan Roberts did actually make it to the bench New Year's Day up here.
Yeah.
So obviously that good enough for Sech to say, "We'll come and join first team."
Yeah.
Sit on the bench. He did sit on the bench all the way game, but oddly enough, in the game after that, we didn't have a keeper, didn't have a spare keeper. So yeah, it's so he's done his knee, so he's out for a while, I guess.
Reading between the lines, I don't think he's going to be back anytime soon, and it's a similar situation. I'm not sure if they have another keeper. I've not seen one. So,
right.
But Diamonds made it 2-0 before half time. Colin thought he'd shore things up just after half time, so he brought Kyle on, his lad.
Yeah.
Okay, very quickly Kyle got sent off. So obviously things became really much more difficult against one of the strongest teams out there. So obviously no goalkeeper, outfield player in goal, and they were one man down. So obviously the score doesn't justify. But weather permitting, the night this podcast comes out, they're at home to Rushing the Diamonds in the league.
All right. Okay.
So hopefully...
Does that still mean then, if I'm right in saying this, they're still unbeaten in the league this
Yes.
year?
Yeah, that was a county cup game. You have 3 competitions. You have the Jamin Shield, you have the League Cup, and you have the County Cup, which is the David Joyce. And then you have the League, North and South, and the 2 winners of the North and South play in the Championship playoff final.
So there you go. They're still in a good place. And obviously there's players being picked from that team to go and play in the first team. So though Setch did say the other night in your interview with him after the Walsall game that he reckons they're young, they need to be playing first team football, but they may be a bit light, but they're still going to get their chance, and when they get their chance, they should take the chance. But they may be a long way behind the progression of the first team players.
He said about 12, 14 months, something like that. Yeah.
Which isn't bad, but if you're playing and scoring in your leagues you're playing in, you know what you're doing. You've got an eye for the ball and an eye for the goal. So get them playing. I would, but we'll wait and see because we don't know what's going to happen Saturday, or whether Setch has been able to get anybody else to come in.
He did mention that, as you've just said there about the interview. Obviously, he's listened to it. I do apologise about the sound quality. It was the conditions were horrendous, and it was so windy. And
that's why you have a muffler on your.
I hadn't put or got wind mufflers, if you like, for these. So I'm going to have to try and sort something out because they're okay in here.
Yeah.
They're fine. And they're okay on a nice day. But, out there on the other night, it wasn't so great. So I hope that didn't ruin the interview for you.
But yeah, it looks like everything's going well there and they're going to be a great position come the end of the season. So that's good. So that's the ladies, the youth. We've talked about the first team. What else is going on here at Steel Park?
Well, I guess there's always something going on.
I'm sure there is.
Remember that if you've been living under a rock, about the club statement and all those kind of things can be found on the club website.
Yeah.
So there is no need to not know what's going on. I was questioned when I was covering the under-18s about why can't I put the under-18s scores and everything on Facebook. And it was a similar situation that people don't understand as when, this is something that the 18s never had before.
Yeah.
They never had somebody updating. And I'm actually filming and I'm trying to update Twitter as and when I can. Now, Chuck's in a similar position during match days because he's doing 101 things. So you have to understand that it isn't possible. You have to deal with one social media platform, and just because you don't use Twitter, get yourself on it.
Well, I mean, there is that because if you're the home team in the first team game, first team game and the first team game only, if you're the home team, you've got to make sure that you click the right button to start the game on football web pages, that's FWP, at the point when the game starts. We have to do that. And that's usually done by the secretary. So Macca does that when we're at home. If we're away, it's Alan Strickland doing it. But when we come to playing football, they're looking at all of that and they are linked automatically to the Twitter account. nobody has got time to put anything on Facebook. And I know you all think that Facebook's great. It's not. It's full of adverts. Absolutely shocking. And just rubbish, mainly. But if you want up-to-date detail on what's happening at a football match, you're best going to Twitter. If you haven't got Twitter, download it. Simple as that. Just I don't know, just open it up for yourself. But I do manage to always get a half-time score and a full-time score on the Instagram account, so you know at least what the score is at that point in the game. Either that or, I mean, also, if we're talking about Twitter, if you're following me, you'll get a preview, you'll get a mid-first half, a half-time, a mid-second half, and these are all reports that I'm speaking into my phone. Have you ever listened to them? No.
Me?
Yeah.
I do listen to them. I listen to them after the game because I haven't got time during the game.
But I'm doing that for two reasons. I'm doing that so Corby Radio got a bit of an on live link to what's happening at the game, and also because I know the fans, if they're away, they can tune in and get some detail. And obviously the away games have been a lot better than what they have the home games. So, but I know there's a lot of people that are watching outside of Corby, lots of fans around the country. I know certainly Paul in York is listening in and watching what goes on. So yeah, it's good, but we can only use certain formats, and which also unfortunately won't tie in with our webpage. It's just very, very difficult. But if anybody wants to come in, join us and say, well, I'll just do the Twitter account, that would be great. You can sit with us, because what generally, I nearly missed the beginning of the game the other day because I was doing something else and they were already walking on the pitch. At that point, I should be playing the Steelman song to some people, but.
And when the question comes up, why can't Facebook be updated? If Facebook was to be updated, it wouldn't be on the unofficial sites. It would be the official stuff, So that's something that has come out and whatever, We have the Corby Town TV Facebook. We have the Corby Town Facebook. We have Corby Town Twitter. We have the YouTube. We have Instagram. We have TikTok.
We're all over it.
We're all over it, and we're trying to get the best we can, updated as and when on match days. But yeah,
just think, 20 years ago you never had any of this.
Nope.
And 20 years ago you didn't even have Facebook. 20 years ago, so that didn't come until 2007. So yeah, you get an awful lot more coverage than what you ever used to get. And I think, Michael, there may be some more coverage coming the way of the fan when you'll be able to produce better and more wonderful kind of things happening. But we'll hold you for that. We're not going to tell you anything about that yet.
Yep. So. We have ideas, and we'll wait and see. Anyways, next thing, right? Now, I asked you a question.
Was that a segment?
Yeah.
That was rubbish. Let's try this again. Michael, what else are you going to talk about tonight on this football podcast?
I was trying to shy away from the other thing. Yes, okay. The final thing that two things we're going to do. The first thing is answer to a question that I posed to Chuck last week. And again, I'm not an expert, but I went off and I did a little bit of research. And this isn't 100%. This is just my silly head idea of, Anyways, I'll read you what I found. This is not gospel. This is not how it is. This is just an idea of what happens. 2G and 3G pitches flooded and waterlogged. Can they be? That was the thing that was posed. Synthetic 2 or 3G all-weather pitches can become flooded and waterlogged for all kinds of reasons. However, the most common reasons are compaction and contamination of the sand and rubber infill layer due to the lack of proper maintenance.
So that's why a game might be called off if it's on a plastic pitch.
Yeah, the sand infill of a 2G pitch and the rubber infill of 3G pitches installed to enhance overall performance and quality of the artificial all-weather surface. Installed deep within the grass pile, the sand and the rubber keeps the turf fibres upright and improves how the surface plays during training sessions and competitive matches. If the sports infill is not looked after properly, it can become compacted. I don't know whether you've been to a 3G pitch and you see this.
I couldn't tell you the difference between a 2G and a 3G.
They have this little thing. Is it a little tractor? It has this little
trailer on the back.
Yeah, and
an agitator.
It agitates it, you know.
So what's a 2G pitch? Is that like a carpet or what? I haven't seen it.
One is sand, one is rubber.
Right. So
the most basic one is the sand one, I think.
Right. So that's like a really old kind of crap AstroTurf pitch.
I guess so.
That's Luton. So. That's Luton 20, 30
Well,
years ago.
I guess so. Like I say, we're not experts on this. I just tried to get a little bit of information on it. If you do have more information, but this is the interesting bit, where the particles get stuck together within synthetic grass surfacing and cause the system to lose, I don't know that.
Porosity.
Thank you. The sand and rubber infill layers can also become contaminated
by moss and algae. So
that is the one, yeah.
Well, that's another weird thing, because we were at Baseford.
Yep.
Do you remember going there when we were in the higher league?
Yep.
And they were watering. They were watering their AstroTurf pitch.
Yeah.
It wasn't AstroTurf, it was plastic. But with loads and loads of rubber pellets. They had loads of, and the other one that had the loads of rubber pellets on was Yaxley. They always had far too much. But I can understand if there's moss, and you'd only get algae if, and this is because algae is a living product. So algae would only grow if the water was held there and didn't drain away, and it was warmed up, and the algae started growing. That means then they've got to kind of, I would imagine they'd have to disinfect the whole pitch.
This is where this, if you know what this thing is called that they drag along and it pulls all the fibres up, doesn't it? I'm not sure,
But there must be a lot of, because there must be a lot of teams that have got an artificial pitch now, 3G, 4G pitch. And the reason they've got a pitch like that is because their games were always getting cold off in the winter because they were near a river. And if their water table has risen, and it's probably best for them to put a plastic pitch in, so they're going to play more games. Now, the problem then is if the water is always on it and it never drains because it's on a floodplain, because some of these new football pitches are, it's not going to drain properly. Yeah. You will get algae growing down there. The other big problem, because this was a big problem up at CTC.
All right.
Right, the football pitches up there at CTC, geese. The geese were forever landing on that pitch, and it used to be covered in geese goo. Geese goo. A horrible thing. And it's slimy. It's horrible, slimy stuff. And you shouldn't be playing on that. It's like playing on a pitch on a park where there's dog mess. So, yeah.
Okay, we'll finish this up very quickly instead of going on and on and on. I can't remember where I got to. But anyways, I'll start at this point. By moss and algae, which grows within the artificial surface. If it is not kept clean, this also leads to a loss of
porosity.
Thank you.
Porosity. I don't know what that is.
Yeah,
I have to look that up.
In the artificial sports pitch system, once the artificial sports grass has compaction and contamination within the infill, which is moss, algae, and algae squidge, then it starts to slow down the drainage, leading to waterlogged synthetic all-weather. And that's all we're going to say on it. They're the basic things that I found out.
Where are we going, Sadie? Corn. What's their pitch?
Should we go looking for algae?
Yeah.
And squidgy?
Well, that and newts and baby toads. They're called toads. So yeah. Well, it's mad what's out there on the web, isn't it? But I mean, this is sometimes also why we don't have a photographer at away games when they're on plastic pitches, because they won't let you go on the pitch unless you're wearing football boots. Now, if you're sitting around taking photos all day, the last thing you want to be doing is wearing football boots, especially the football boots that are made out what were used to be carpet slippers.
Yep.
They're so thin and there's nothing to them. They fall off your feet.
Yeah.
It's not a protective shoe, is it? So, it's not easy. So that's another reason why you sometimes don't see the pictures from away games, because we're playing on artificial pitches and they won't allow the photographer on the inside of the barrier. Pointless being up here on the outside of the pitch trying to take photos, because you want to be down here where the action is. There's a tip for all the photographers out there.
And if you wonder why I filmed it from where I filmed it the other day, the actual walkway around the whole pitch was fence to fence, was 1.5 meters, which is absolutely, if you look at the spread of my tripod and getting me around it, absolutely no chance. So I had to go over the other side, which means I couldn't see down the far side, but the guys let me film by the tunnel or where they come out the portal cam, which normally nobody's allowed, and there's hoses and all sorts over there.
Unbelievable.
But they were really good to me. They took me in at half time on a freezing cold night, give me a bite to eat, cups of tea. Absolutely brilliant, lovely people. Thank you. Right.
We've got a game, have we?
Yeah, we got a game. Before we go and say our goodbyes on this episode, we're going to carry on with our little thing, isn't it? We're looking back at...
we'll look back at an old game.
We're looking back at an old game.
And we've dashed into over the board and into Oxfordshire.
We have, and we were talking about a pitch that was flooded.
A pitch that always gets flooded because this is weird. Geographically, this pitch, not only is it next to the railway line, kind of right in the middle of town, but has got a river that runs behind the back of the goal at the bottom end of the pitch. And when that floods, it comes up and it gets flooded to about halfway. And always happens. And where are we talking about? Banbury.
Banbury United.
Now, I've been... Because for years I've been to Banbury. I'd seen Banbury a couple of times, been there back and forth. Never been to Banbury Town Centre. No. So if you go to the Banbury Town Centre, there's a big crossroads, and on that crossroads is a statue of what? It's a lady on a horse.
A lady on a horse?
Banbury Cross, isn't it?
Oh, my goodness.
With bells on her fingers and things on her toes. She will have music wherever she goes. Anyway.
Is it a rude lady on a horse?
No, she's wearing veils.
Oh, veils.
She's not like the Coventry Lady Godiva.
Oh, right.
Who was naked on a horse.
She's not a black veil bride then?
No.
Okay.
But, so there you go, Banbury. But we've got some video here going back to 2014.
Yep, 2014. It was a Tuesday night, so Chuck would have been on the radio. This absolutely chucked it down. And it was away at Banbury, which at that point was called the Spencer Stadium. And you'll see on this, and I think...
And it looks like they're wearing this kit.
They are wearing that kit. Yeah, it was the year they won the league.
That looks like Weird Daly, who's just put that one over the bar from 6 yards. Very close.
You've got a voice on this, Michael.
I have put a voice on this, yeah. Now, this one is the weirdest thing ever. The guy thinks it's gone out. It hasn't. The referee points for a penalty. He's gone running off, and then all of a sudden he's gone like that because he thought the ball had gone out. Now, the linesman has flagged and says it hasn't gone out.
No, right.
So they've awarded Corby a penalty.
Well, I can't even see the line, frankly. So who's taking this? Spencer, is it? Spencer Weird Daly?
I think that must be Millsy.
Millsy, number 7, yeah.
Millsy,
Greg Mills.
Yeah.
Last time I saw him here, he was playing for an away team.
Bear in mind, this isn't filmed in the same quality as we do now. You'll appreciate that we've upgraded an awful lot since these days. Not that there was anything wrong with this. It's just progression, isn't it? Anyways.
You can see it's got Evo stick in the top corner.
Yeah, Evo stick.
Wow.
Yeah, we love a bit of Evo stick, don't we?
What are you trying to say? You like a plastic bag of Evo stick?
No.
Right.
This is a game that Corby dominated.
Why? You seem to be sitting down at this bottom end of the game, the ground.
I am. Have you seen the weather?
Yeah, it's blowy, isn't it?
I'm in the stand and the water's still chucking it down. My camera was getting wet.
He must be off there.
It was driving it in.
Nice touch. Oh, second go. Oh, no. Gordon Bennett.
I have got to say, I think this is the year Banbury got relegated. They're not as good as they are now, or they weren't as good as they are now. They're a very good team nowadays. But Corby was certainly, you know, and there's
Tap in, close range.
Swizz.
Yeah.
Mr. Weir Daly, 20-odd goals that year. 20-odd, you know, he'd be what, 38 now?
Yeah, he's getting on.
Yeah, he's
If you ever want to come back, Swizz, go and have a talk with her.
Yeah, straight into the second half, straight through. And I think that is Ben Mills.
Wow.
Remember Mills?
I do.
Yeah.
Had some really, really top players here at Steel Park.
Well, there was that year. Shane Byrne was out there too. And there's a very young Callan.
Callan.
Callan Thomas.
Wow.
That would be 2014.
Oh, it was, yeah.
So that would be 10 years ago.
Yeah.
We were hoping to get Callan on this one, and I don't know what that was. I'll have to show him that one.
You can see the rain there.
Yeah.
It is another thick clay pitch, and it does soak up lots of water, but it's a bit hard.
Like I say, you know,
long run down the flank.
Get
the ball across.
And there's another guy that went on to play in the Football League, Wilson Carvalho.
Yeah.
Wasn't he at Spalding this year?
Was he?
I'm sure I saw him pop up at Spalding.
Oh, and there's Dave in the background. Nobody holds a camera like Dave.
How do you know it's Dave?
Well,
you guessed.
No, it looked like Dave.
Well, you know it wasn't me because I was filming this.
There we go. Look at that. Nice touch.
There's Wilson and his run. Yeah.
So 4-0.
It was an absolute foul night. But the great thing about this is you'll see in a minute. This is a great goal, by the way. This is Millsy straight in the corner. What hit. Great goal.
And only a few fans there, as you say. That was
well, look at this. Final score was Banbury 0, Corby Town 5.
Excellent. Oh, and still, man.
Yeah, we won the league, and we'll have plenty more of these games. And we're going to both thank them.
Who's that?
To everybody out there, all the viewers, everybody. We've now clocked over 1,500 subscribers.
1,500 subscribers. That's 1,500 people now can say hello to me in the street.
Which is 3 times as many that come through the gate on a Saturday afternoon.
Which is a bit bizarre because that's all the away fans going, oh, why haven't we got this? Why have Corby Town got that? We haven't got this and we're not really.
And you're from Spalding.
Yeah. No, I'm not. I don't want that. Look, if you're an away fan, you've got to understand you're going to take a bit of banter, but, you know.
If you're an away fan and you want to join in with the banter, come and see us on a match day.
Come and see us on the match day.
We'll be happy to have a chat with you on camera.
We can have a chat with you. We can have a quick interview with you, and you can tell us what you think and why you think that your club hasn't got one, or what would be the benefit of your club to have this kind of facility.
Okay.
So that would be quite fun, wouldn't it?
Should we wrap it up?
We will do. So we're going to go home now because, it's cold, and we will see you at the next game. So keep supporting the Steelmen, more than the Steelmen. My name's Chuck.
That's my name is Michael in the Forest shirt. Go and get yourself one.
Red. And
it's the only red thing you'll find me in.
I'm a member of the Labour Party, but I'm not really, actually. I might be voting Greens. We're not going to talk about that.
No, we're not going there. We're not going there.
We will see you soon. And stay tuned.
Indeed.
Next week, we should have some people in the studio, so look forward to that. That's good. So stay tuned. We'll see you soon. Good night.
Thank you, Vu.